All right, Stone Seekers, it's a big week here at Base Camp. It is the week of the Shattering, the official release of Wonders of the First. We are so excited to have several hundred of you traveling in to Columbia, South Carolina for it. And one of the things that I wanted to do here, we need to break the seal. We need to open the first ever official box of Wonders of the First. Now, we're not opening the first box. The first box is one that's very special. You can look about some story on that. That box is owned by someone in the community who was able to get that box, but we're gonna open the first official box to be opened. And I wanna guarantee that I hit a Phoenix quill. So I'm gonna open one of the quill boxes, not one of the Emmas. I'm gonna open one of the quill boxes because I wanna be able to say that the very first box that was opened had a Phoenix quill in it. Anything we hit in this box of what I would say significance, we will, well, that's not the right word. A lot of cards are going to come out of this box that are significant. But when you think about it from a collectability standpoint, kind of really like high-end cards, if we hit an OC, we know we'll hit an OCM, so we'll give that OCM away. And if we hit any mythic formless foils or mythic foils, those are all big. Epic formless foils, we'll do the same thing. We'll give any of those away. So let's call it any rare or better formless foil out of this box we will give away. And any mythic regular foil we'll give away, and then we may keep the others around. We may end up giving those away too, but we'll give those bigger cards away along with the OCM. We'll give those away on social media. So we'll do some drawings for these cards that come out of this box, and that way they can go out to the community, and we will ship them sometime after the Shattering is over. So we don't want them landing before the Shattering, so we'll ship them out after the Shattering is over. So I've cut some other content already where we went through. I gave us kind of a bit of a report card of how I thought we did with this first set. One thing you'll learn about us, we try to just be straight ahead and deal with everything that we think we did good, everything we need to improve on. Anything that's bad, we'll get right there in the boat with you. I mean, I'm a collector just like all the rest of you. We have tons of players that are excited about playing the game that are on the team, obviously the dev team. So we want to be super transparent in how we deal with the community with all things. So I've got some other content that'll be coming out about the manufacturing process. Today I'm just here to celebrate this box. So if I see a card that's OC or something like that, I'm not going to rag on it too hard. But we're gonna rip this box and enjoy it. So let's do it. The first slice there, and I put a nice slice right into the top of that quill. So take a look at that where the razor blade came through there. So we'll pop this up. Now, one of the things that we should see, this is my first time seeing the inside of one of these boxes, we should see that quill, there it is, laying right on top. So there is the quill, that is the guaranteed box topper in the Phoenix quill boxes. This one is nice and centered, actually. I said I wasn't gonna talk about negative centering, but heck, I'll talk about some positive centering. That thing is, man, I think it's dead nuts. That looks great. All right, so that is a paper Phoenix quill. This is our silver pack that has our alt art in it. I generally like to open those last anytime I have those in a product, so I'll open that last. And so we'll jump in. So here we go. The very first pack. This table I'm on is not super sturdy, so I don't want to shake it too much for the camera here. I keep forgetting I have that camera up. I'm used to, anytime I'm doing cards, I only have the one camera in front of me, but have multiple cameras here. So one of the things to understand the way this pack is going to work. So what we're going to have is we've got 12 slots that are in this pack. Slots 1 through 3 are common paper. Slot 4 and 5 is an uncommon. Slot 6 is our first foil, and that's a common foil, so a guaranteed common foil in that slot. Then slot 7 is any foil. So it could be any rarity foil, classic foil could be in that slot. And then slot 8, that's our hit slot. So that's where we're gonna hit a first edition formless foil, 1 in 3 pack pull rate on those in a collector booster. That's where our OCM would be. We have 1 OCM per box, and then we have the tokens that are in that slot. And so the tokens are foil on one side, paper on the other, and they're double-sided for sealed gameplay. You get a common land on the back side of that to help with gameplay. And then you finish it out. You have some other slots there where you can pull mythics in that 9th slot. You can get a rare or better paper. So only rare, epic, and mythic in that slot. 10 is an any rarity paper slot. That's the ones that we anything can go in there. And then we have 11 and 12, it finishes with common. So that's the way that the pack configuration works. Now, on average, mathematically, I know a lot of people have been curious about this. On average, we're looking at about a little over 4 mythics per box. But the way it works with those any rarity slots, it's not forced. It's not forced. So we worked hard with the factory to make a really dynamic rip. So there is going to be quite a bit of variance from the RNG gods on that. I don't think it's going to be uncommon to see boxes that'll hit 6, 7 mythics, and I think some are going to hit 2. Average is going to be a little over 4, and that's kind of what you can expect there. But that's certainly by design. We didn't force it. It's not a 4 mythic per box kind of thing. We wanted to let the RNG shine through, and I think it'll lead to a more exciting and thrilling break. It'll make you have a lot of feel good when you hit the big one, and get a lot of mythics, and maybe not as much feel good. But if you don't hit some of the bigger mythics, maybe those slots pull you some extra big epics. There's a lot of great playable cards in that rare and epic slot. Heck, there's a lot of great playable cards in the freaking common and uncommon slots. But certainly a lot of good playability in the rares and epics. So let's look through here. We have our first 3 commons there. So those are common paper. Then we have our 2 uncommons. I've got the Wind Reaver here, and I've got Vapor Blast Artillery. Here's our first foil. That is a common foil. I'm off my camera here, I see. Gotta remember I got 2 cameras here. There's the common. Then we have Rust Trooper coming in as a mythic right there in the first pack. So right there, first pack, banging a Rust Trooper right off the gate, getting a nice mythic pull, and that is a mythic foil. And then we have a token. We did not get a formless foil hit here, so this is not one of the 3 that has a formless foil or an OCM hit. And then if you flip this over, you'll see that there's a basic Patrian land on the back. Unknown Patria is what that's called. And that lets you, if we're playing sealed, it allows you to have the lands that you would need to play in sealed. Really nice epic coming up in this any rarity, or this is actually a rare or better slot, Cindermaw the Scalder. This is a nice one. So Cindermaw is the dragon from the dragon box. This is a paper version. That one is centered up pretty good. Little issue there maybe on that left edge, but overall really nice looking epic there, and that is Cindermaw. Then we have an uncommon here in the Gearheart Enclave, and then our last 2 commons, the Light Forge and the Thunder Crash Axe, filling it out. So not a bad first pack at all, hitting a Cindermaw and hitting a Rust Trooper mythic foil. We're off and we are running. What's that? It is great. It is great. Like I'm trying to think to make sure that I don't I haven't been through a lot of I've done simulated breaking and that sort of thing to understand how the pack configurations are, but I mean, you're getting a little bit of authenticity here too. Like, that's a great hit and it's cool. Rust Trooper is awesome. Getting a mythic in the first pack, foil, that's great. That's awesome. So I don't want to downplay it. The team's over here looking at me like, what are you doing? Why aren't you yelling? Why aren't you? And look, that's not me. I'm not one of the, if we hit an Emma formless foil, or we hit another Quill formless foil, or an OCM, or we get a Drogothar, or if we see the Prisoner in foil or something, I might come unglued. But right, or Break Bang, I'd love to get a Break Bang in the first box. For those of you, if you know, that card's got a lot of sentimental value there. So this is 30 packs. This is a big box, right? Our collector booster boxes, they're big boxes. It's sitting like a Magic collector booster. It's only got 12 in it. You got a guaranteed OCM hit in here in every box, and I think it's a great collector box product. But it's big, it's got a lot in it, and I'm not going to sit here and go through every single card. This video would turn into a solid hour and a half if I go through this slow. So I'm just going to kind of mow through a little faster here. We'll see what we get in our foil slots. So we got a common foil there, Thunderclap Flash, another common, and there we have that. That's actually the same token that we got in the last pack. Oh, we got another Cindermaw the Scalder. Are you kidding me? Back-to-back packs, Cindermaw the Scalder. Now they're looking at me like, oh God, collation's a problem. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I've seen the recipes for collation. It happens. Sometimes you're gonna do that. This is 2 epics of Cindermaw, 2 great pulls there. I'm gonna go ahead out on a limb and say that we're gonna see really good collation throughout this box. I have a lot of confidence in the collation recipe. Back-to-back Cindermaw the Scalders, we'll take that as a win. I wish one of them had been a foil. That'd be even sicker if we got the paper and the foil. So, I got Eric over here off camera. For those that know, Eric was the one that was at the factory. He's the one that was, stressing and working on the collation recipe and all that stuff. So he's over there. When I said another send him all, his eyes got big. But it's all right, Eric. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. We got good collation here. All right. So there's our commons, Techno Historian. I really love that card. That's a cool card. That's why I can't sit here and talk about these cards, because I will get stuck talking about the cards for a long time. I'm going to talk about this one. I love Static Shock. I hope this hurts. This is one of my favorite artistic cards. It's only a common. It's not going to be a hard one to find, I don't think, in Formless Foil and OCM. I'm definitely going to collect it. I love Static Shock. I love the flavor text on Static Shock. I've loved it from the very beginning, so that's a great card. It's only a common, but I love Static Shock. There's our first Formless Foil. So here's a look at our first Formless Foil, and it is Synapse Ridge. It is a Heliosynth common land, and just look at that. Formless Foil, none of the bordering there, so borderless is what this would be called. You do get the little thin line there with the orbital color in it, which we looked at that. We've considered taking that off, and we all felt that the design looked a lot better with it. The art shines through tremendously well. Those little thin lines don't really get in the way of it. So really cool there. Our first actual Formless Foil hit. Then we have a rare here with this Scouting Barnail. How do you say that? Barnail? Barnal? How do you say that? Joe Doug.
Barnail.
Barnail? All right, Barnail.
Don't forget your first edition stamp on that one.
Yeah, Eric just reminded me that we do have, Revolutionary Cannon, another common that I really love. I'm a big fan. I want that in Formless Foils and stuff too. So a lot of the commons I actually do want to collect in the more rare variations, the Formless Foil variation, and of course the OCM. So another thing, this is where the first edition stamp comes in. So if you notice, if we go back to that Rust Trooper foil, the classic foils, they don't have the first edition stamp. It's Existence, okay? So it's a big card from the Existence set, but the first edition stamp is an exclusive to the Formless Foil and the OCMs. So that's what the first edition stamp looks like, and then the other one, you get the Existence details there, but you don't get that first edition stamp. And stone foil, thank you. Keep me straight. Got a whole room full of people here watching me do this today. All right, so got some commons here. Lynx Porcelain is one of my wife's favorite cards. She likes the cat there. What's he called? A Tigerian, I think is his. Tigerian. Sister Azura Silver Song here. Then we have the Solaris Stormcaster, and we're looking at Tech Soul here, a common. Then we have Quadratusk, the elephant. This is a big set, y'all. I'm not going to sit here and pretend for a second that I know every single card in this set. I don't. It's just too big. I've got my favorites. But this is a 401 card set before you get into all of the promo cards, the stretch box cards, the mythics that are the exclusives in the starter boxes. All of that, it really adds on to the size of this set. And so I'm not going to pretend for a second that I know every single card. I definitely have my favorites. So here we are into our foils, and common, uncommon, and then we have another token. And again, if you look at that token, hit my phone here, you're going to see that that's got an unknown Sulfera on the back of it. So the land matches the token character there, and no big hit in that one. Although there's Versi Hollowheart. Eric, you are the proud owner of that character proof, are you not, sir? All right, so Eric is the art proof owner of that, and that is an epic. So Eric, here you go. From the very first official box, I am going to give you that for all your hard work at the factory to make this thing come to life for everybody.
There's a sleeve in the top.
Here is the first pulled Versi Hollowheart, sir. You take that. There you go. All right, awesome. So if you don't know what that means, what I just said, we have character proofs that are essentially the art proofs for all these, and so those are all one-of-ones, and people in the community have been able to pull those in different ways. Those all have a nice random distribution to them, and it really does create a sense of pride and ownership. So you saw that. I mean, it's Versi Hollowheart being a proof that Eric owned, and I knew it because he talks about it all the time, that's his proof that made it into the set, and so I knew it was his, that he owned that character proof, and so I knew that he would really appreciate and like that card more than probably anyone else on the planet, frankly, would want and like that card. Here's the tall mecha outskirts. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I love this. This gives me some serious Star Wars vibes here. That looks like we're maybe somewhere on Tatooine where Anakin was was born and raised. So I don't know if he was born on Tatooine, but we don't need to get into my Star Trek knowledge here. Common, and the harp appreciator, the harp enjoyer. So like this token, there's the Bone Harvest harp, which is a cool card. I'm not really into the death and the decay and the skeletons and stuff generally, but I think that the harp, it's called the Bone Harvest harp, right? I think that card is so sick. And then so you have the harp enjoyer, so you have this person or the skeleton here that would be dancing to the harp. I think that's pretty sick. So pretty cool token there. The tokens are available in OCMs without the back, and hey, to each their own. I'm not a person that's going to be playing a lot of sealed. So for me, I don't love the tokens with the lands on the back from a collectability standpoint. I just don't, not my jam. But I do love them in their OCMs, which I think is even cooler because the tokens in the packs, the normal tokens, have that back. It makes me want the OCMs even more. So I think that the 99 OCMs for the tokens, I think that that's going to be a set that a lot of people are going to want to get, and it's the only place you can get those cool tokens. I mean, if you look at that Harp Enjoyer card, I mean, this is a sick looking card in my opinion, especially if you like the Bone Harvest Harp. And the only way to get this with a regular back on it that's not an unknown number theme land, the only way to get that is in the OCM to get a true card. And there's only 99 of those. So I don't think that, somebody on the team said, they actually asked me the question, they said, Jeff, when your OCM, your orbital color match, which is the serialized card, when your OCM that you're guaranteed to hit in the box, if it's a token OCM, is it a feel bad? And I said, it's not for me. I put the tokens right there with the commons, and the tokens have some of the coolest art. Now, community, you'll have to make your decisions on that, but not every OCM is going to be a mythic, but I think the tokens are great. And I think we will see some of the token OCMs, I think we'll see them be quite desirable because the art is really cool, and that's the only place to get them in with a regular back on it. That's true, right? They're not anywhere else. So that's the only way to get them is in the OCM. Yeah, okay. So let's see if we can get us another big pull here. All right, so we have a common, then we have an epic, Kishral Viviscent Chrono Titan. That's a heck of a name. Kishral Viviscent Chrono Titan. That's a hell of a name. Oh, this is my daughter, one of her favorites. It may be her favorite, and it's in formless foil. This is a common. I may give this one to my daughter. In fact, no, I'm going to give this one to my daughter. She loves the Moonfire Crystal Mouse. She thinks he's so cool, and he looks really good in this formless foil.
That's a banger.
Yeah,
It's
so
actually the best common you can get formless foil.
Just artistically, you think?
Gameplay. It's one of the best cards.
Oh, it's a really good gameplay card?
It's one of the best cards in the game. Yeah.
Really? I did not know that.
probably should-
She likes it because of it's all aesthetic for her. She likes the aesthetic of the crystal, the crystal mouse. I can set it aside. I'll sleeve it when we're done. No biggie. I'm not going to mess it up. Aya Petrai, I've always thought that was a cool card. Gallon Mosspaw, I've always thought that was a cool card. This is another one, Ranaday Hopmaster, the one riding the big frog. That's a cool card. A cool set. Like, we didn't hit any big hit in that, but that pack there's a lot of cool stuff here. Yeah. So people in gameplay are really going to want. So if you're playing sealed, you want to see the mouse. Yeah.
It's a great card.
It'll be a big card in constructive too, but I guess if you're pulling it in sealed, that's where you really can get lucky. Those game change build around.
Definitely want to get that in seal.
All right, so here we go. I'm gonna kind of move through this a little quick. A lot of variants in these cards. As you move through the different orbitals, I think that's all really great. If you noticed, I mentioned the thing about the collation. We did see 2 Cinder Maws right off the bat, and the collation, I have not really seen a lot of duplicates since then. So Eric's over there giving me a thumbs up. Like I had confidence in the collation. We worked really hard on the collation. It's a big set, and we needed to make sure the collation was solid, and I'm really confident in that. That's one of the things that I actually give us. I give us A+ marks on collation in our little report card that I did. I think the collation is going to be I think people are going to like the collation more than they realize, and I think it's really got an OG trading card feel to it. It's how it's collated, and the fact that you can have such variance in a rip, I think people are really going to like it, and I hope they will. I love Wave Whisperer Bay. That's another common. I would love to get that one in a formless foil or an OCM. I think it's really cool. I like going to the tropics, to the beach. just so many cool looking cards. This camera's not super, my camera here is not super focused. I think it may be because I have it on that little wider angle look. Common foil, and then we got another first edition formless foil. This one is an uncommon, and this is the Carrionis Moth.
That's a great card. Another good sealed hit.
It is a good sealed hit. It's a cool looking card. That has got, that's pretty sick. That is pretty sick. That's a cool looking card. Cool looking card. Like I said, there's a lot of packs here. I think when you think about a collector booster, you know, we definitely have, this booster has got a lot of depth to it as far as number of cards. You got more paper cards than you get in a Magic Play booster, of course, but you also get a guaranteed, serialized hit in every box. And I think, and none of those serialized cards go above 99 serialization. So I think that's going to be something that I think the market is going to, I think, really enjoy the opportunity to, because a lot of people in that are heavy Magic people, I've ripped a ton of Magic, and I haven't pulled very many serialized Magic cards. When Lord of the Rings came out, I just wanted a ring. I had no idea of pulling the ring, but I ripped the crap out of that stuff. And I'm telling you, the serialized cards are hard to come by, and so that does push them to some quite extreme values. But it also makes the market tough, because it's almost like in sports cards, they get a bit illiquid when a market can't form. And I think this is going to be a nice sweet spot. The one per box here, the way we've done this, I think it's going to create a nice little sweet spot for those serialized cards. And I think a nice market can evolve where you start to have good ratios from card to card. And I think also it really does give a nice collector tier where I think we will see a lot more of the value in that be driven by things like the collectibility of the card, whereas when you start moving down into paper and even classic foil, I think gameplay is going to drive a lot of that value. Maybe not for every character. Some of the more really frontline marketing stars, you'll see some of that collectability go all the way down, I think, but I definitely expect paper and foils to be really, really driven by gameplay, but I don't think we're going to see a correlation of that as much as people expect. And look, I'll tell you, we have a little bit of disagreement even on our team, different theses of how that's going to play out. There's some on the team that think the gameplay is going to go all the way up through the OCMs and the stone foils. I think it will matter, but I think that there's going to be a lot heavier influence on marketability, art, and that sort of thing when you get into stone foils and OCMs. There's Static Shock in paper, the Tau Mecha Outskirts right behind it. There we have Caroline Condole. She's the one that's got the dog with her there. She has an alt art in the box toppers, I know, and that's a really cool card. I've seen all the art, but that design is one that I think people are going to like. Token there. Got a rare here, a common. So far we're still on, my leg's going to sleep on this chair. So far we've got one mythic, right? Pulled one mythic so far?
Yeah.
Oh God, my leg is like completely asleep. It's like totally asleep. So I'm sitting here behind this thing. I don't have anywhere to put my legs underneath it, so I was like wedged up on this little chair here. So I'm gonna stand up for a minute. Did I totally mess your,
Yeah, your head's off. But
my head's out of it now?
Move it though. Just
Yeah, let me just let my leg get a little blood flow back in it, and then I'll sit back down. All right. I think a lot of this, the different, fungus, the glow claps, any of that stuff that's the mushroom style stuff, some of that stuff in the set I think is really, really cool. Here's the Sky Seeker Twins. I know that's been a popular art on that, even though it's just a common. Does Gen Con own that, or is that part of the Alpha?
Gen Con owns the Sky Seeker Twins because I know her mom really wants that fruit.
Really?
She said that's the one she will never get rid of.
Oh yeah, I thought that was part of the Alpha block of ownership. I'm wrong on that. So if you're new to the community, you might not know what any of that means, but if you dive in with us, if you hop in the Discord, meeting people who, again, like I talked about those character proofs earlier, the people that own the character proofs, they're definitely going to have, I think, an affinity to the cards around proofs that they own. I know that that's just something I think is going to help really making, for those that do have a character proof, opening it and chasing your own proof, I think will be something that'll be really popular. I think people really enjoy that. There's another mythic, and it is in foil. And Yep. So this one I think this is a super cool looking card. This is one that you get your power based on. Is this one's power is based on banish the target stone you control in this realm. If you do, this card becomes a stone. Okay, so, and this gets and this gets power equal to 2 times the current round. So this is the Gem Primordial. Gem Primordial.
I know there's a bunch of people that like that cycle of cards that have something to do with like destroying stones and gems.
So so I guess if this becomes a stone, can it then be banished like any other
It
wonder?
also can be stolen by the other player.
And then they have your wonder,
Yeah.
right?
Or you can destroy it and then. But also what you can do is, so like the fun thing people like to do with it is they turn to a stone and they take the stone and then they portal to a different realm.
Gotcha. I don't know if you all can hear him off the camera there, but he's saying that also you can get the stone there, turn that card into the stone, and then you can portal over to a different realm. So you can move the character, I guess, once the character becomes the stone, you can move them around the board, and I guess it opens up some interesting stuff. One little piece of alpha that I'll bury in here, and this is going to show up in other places too. One of the things about Existence set, and Tinsman's a better one to talk about this than me, but you'll find that a lot of the mythics and the cards that are in the mythic slot, they're not necessarily your main build-around cards. Some of the mythics are powerful. Phoenix Gold is a mythic and it's very powerful, and there are others that are powerful to different levels, and you all can figure that out and start to see some of that as you play. But one thing that I'll tell you is that we wanted to make sure that we knew the print run when you're starting early is going to be lower, right? And so if we are successful and we grow, which is certainly what we plan to do, we didn't want to have cards that were just busted that people could not get later. It's easier for us to add power to some of these earlier mythics. And I can tell you that one of the things that I'm really excited about is seeing how future gameplay is going to impact mythics specifically that are in the Existence set. There's a word that people throw around in CCGs, trash mythic. That's a trash mythic. Its ability sucks. It's not good in the game. And I am positive we have some that players will define with that term today. But sell trash mythics for pennies on the dollar at your own peril. That's all I'm going to tell you. Because some of those mythics, they are going to get more powerful in the game as we go. They're all very important cards, and a lot of thought and intentionality went into what went into that mythic slot, and a lot of thought and intentionality went into how they are powered today. And you're going to find a lot of the key gameplay and build around is going to be what in the I know certainly down in rare, but even in uncommon, a lot of the big build around cards are even in uncommon. And then commons are more in supporting roles as a whole, I guess, right? But you start getting heavy build arounds in like uncommon and rare. And that also lets you in something like sealed, you get a decent shot to have your build around cards, whereas your mythics maybe they're cool and have like something that may be swingy, but you got to really execute it the right way. Some of those big swingy moves can get easier to deploy in the future. That's all I'm going to say. So I would caution against a trash mythics narrative as it relates to Wonders of the First, because some that may be trash mythics today, I promise you, they're not going to be trash mythics forever. Fair? Is that a fair way to put it? So
Also, some of the mythics, they have lower DBS because of the way they might have a powerful ability, but they're expensive energy costs. So therefore, they got a lower DBS. So then you can make a stronger deck and still have the mythic in your deck. So.
right, and they also have the lever on them that most of them are all legendaries. There aren't many. There's only a handful of mythics that aren't legendary. So they also one of in your deck too. Right. So therefore they don't get penalized from a DBS standpoint as much as a card that you can really stack up and put in your deck. Exactly. Where do we see? This is probably not the video for it, but I look at something like Pink Spore Dreamcap that's got like unlimited, where does that go in DBS? Because it's I don't know. I don't really fully grasp that card and how that card plays for everybody, but I look at it and just think, that's the only one that kind of breaks the rule and allows you to kind of do whatever. So I feel like maybe I should have picked my poison on this. I'm bouncing around a bit here, but I really wanted to kind of get this first break out of the way here. And there's Professor Dro. I know that's a important character in the Shockham comics. So if you haven't seen that, we've got some details on how our lore works and how we have a multiverse with different paths in it. And Shockham Comics, they're building a Path of Lore as another Shockham comic card, the V8 Wanderer, which I know is in issue 1 of Rise of a Mythic by Emma, or with Emma. So a lot of cool things happening from a IP development side. We're trying to empower the community to build. We're certainly going to build. A lot of our main storyline lore we've held out. A lot of that's going to be coming out now that we approach release. We actually did not want to inundate lore. We're going to be lightweight on lore, heavy on game narrative anyway. But we definitely want to give some good storylines that people can enjoy and gravitate to. But we intentionally held a lot of that back. We wanted to give you backstory, what happened before the shattering, how the orbitals are. Wanted to set mood and vibe more than narrative-driven story. But now with the shattering, it's time. It's time for a little bit of narrative-driven story. And some of our characters, some of the ones that I think people have not really focused on, may not understand quite the importance that the character may have. I think some of that's going to get revealed here in the coming days as I shoot this video. And I think we got some really interesting things that are coming on that lore-driven side of the franchise. So I'm super excited about that stuff. Here's another beautiful formless foil with the Vulcan Veil. That is a beautiful card. I love the Vulcan Veil, even though it's a common, not a super pricey bank breaking. Here's a mythic. There's a mythic, Pyrethos of Salfera. So that is one of our first forms. This is the first of the first forms that we've seen. So a paper mythic here, bringing us to our third mythic of the box. And this is one of the first forms. This is a card today, not super powerful gameplay-wise. Isn't that fair,
Yeah,
right?
because what's the energy cost on it?
Its energy cost is 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one that you can expect. That's a first form. The first forms are important to our world, and having some longevity in those cards, it's always easier to do some things to add to them for the future than it would have been to come out the gate and really screw up by having them be too OP, right? I think, but I would not let go of that card easy, even if you're not planning to put it in your deck today. And we'll see how that plays out. Common there, uncommon. Got an elf, and then we have a token, and there's another mythic. Bang, back to back, and we got Baron Balthor. How's that one?
Yeah, it's decent.
Decent today.
Yes.
Yeah. Not one of our big hammer mythics though, right? Like it's not one that's gonna move and swing play a lot.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Wicked tells me better than I say. That's fine.
Yeah.
Trust Wicked over me.
All right, saying trust Wicked over Joe. All right, so that brings us up to five mythics in the box. 2 are foil, so we are now above the average pull rate. So we've gotten a little bit over that 4 number, and we're still rocking and rolling here. So, and look, I don't want to pretend for a second that a lot of the epics that I've gone through, a lot of the commons and uncommons, there's, again, a lot of great cards in this. I want everybody to explore. This is a card here that it's a common. It'll be probably super cheap. I don't think it's the spell catch is nothing incredibly powerful. So it's not crazy powerful or anything, but I want this card in an OCM. I want the OCMs and formless foils of this card. The formless foils are be pretty attainable, but the OCMs, there's only 99 of them. And I just really like the art on this card. And it gives me heavy vibes of something like a bounty hunter from, Mandalorian or something. I love that card. And I don't think it's one that will get a ton of, I don't think it's going to wow people from a gameplay perspective, but, and therefore I think most likely the papers and the common version of it probably won't be super pricey. But if you only need a few people that share my opinion that that's a cool looking card, and at 99 in the OCMs, next thing you know, we have to fight over it because I definitely want to get my hands on 1 or 2 of them. And here we go with Energy Extraction. That is a beautiful card. Holy cow, man. To quote Eric S., that is sexy. That is a sexy sexy formless foil right there. That is a beautiful card.
Really good sealed card hit too.
Is it? Really good sealed hit? That's a beautiful card. That card is. Now I know this is this is an epic, and I know this one is a strong card. This is the Dimensional Piercer.
Oh yeah.
This is one that was like OP, too OP for a while. Y'all had to dial this one back a bit, didn't you? Yeah. So I know this is a good epic, and that's a boundless epic there. So that's what I'm saying. There's tons of epics and things that I haven't hit on. We haven't hit a big, we haven't seen our OCM yet, and we haven't hit a big formless foil. We haven't hit a mythic formless foil. We didn't hit a Cindermaw in formless foil. Any of the really big kind of frontline collectability type epics. Patch Scribbler. I think that this character is great. Another common, but you know, the world is broken. I fix things. I think it's great flavor text on that little guy. There's a card that I said I liked earlier, Static Shock. Getting that in a foil. I'm pretty sure we got it in a foil earlier, didn't we? I love the way that card looks. Huge fan of that card. Definitely want that card in some OCMs. And formless foils. And there's another Harp Enjoyer. There's the Iron Citadel. Iron Citadel is one of the cards. Iron Citadel is the one that's in the alt art. That's the one that's on the. Iron Citadel is the one that's on the little insert pamphlet, right? Isn't that Iron Citadel? Isn't this Iron Citadel alt art? Or is that a different Citadel? They're all looking at me a little cross-eyed, so we might not know. I thought that was Iron Citadel. Maybe it's not. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a different Citadel. Anyway, here's the tea set. I know this is a card that Capricorn and Tinsman talked about, and it's got a lot of unique, interesting dynamics. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch the interview that the content producer Capricorn, who's been covering Wonder stuff. We really appreciate his work. His name is Richie. We appreciate Richie. I don't think I doxed him on that. Hope I didn't. I think his name is out there. But he interviewed Tinsman, and they talked about the tea set. There's the Pink Spore Dream Cap. That's the card that I said earlier that breaks the game rule. You can have any number of those in your deck. Dragon Gold, I think that's a cool card. So common there with Progo, and then Midnight Sky Sword Token. Then the Rootling Terror. That's a good card, right?
That's a great card.
Great card. So Rootling Terra and the Pinkra Lumen. That's another good card, isn't it? That's in the. I know that one's in the precon for Sulfera. He's a crazy looking dude, man. I got to give my boy credit. He is that beard is wild. I love some of the pixel art like Lost Miner stuff that has the pink beard. It's like and he's got that pink.
Pink foil is one of the best.
It's a cool looking card. Yeah, that's a cool vibe on him there. All right, there's a Catch leading us off in this pack. And I'm anxious now to see what our OCM is. We really are we're getting down to the end here. So our OCM has not come out yet. So there's a epic. Is the Courageous Heart Emblem? Is that a good? That's a good card. I thought it was. I thought that was one that was a good card. Is that in any of the Is that in the precon for Thalwyn? It's not. Ooh, that's a cool looking card right there. Actually, this is the first time I've seen the card, but this is the first time I'm seeing this in a formless foil here. This is sick. The Forgotten Death Marshal, epic. It's a cool card. Put that one over here. Another Iron Citadel. So a little duplicate there that we've seen. So you think back what we saw. We saw a couple Static Shocks, seen a couple Iron Citadels, only seen one Patch Scribbler. That's a common, I know. We've only seen one Pink Spore Dream Cap. And you're talking, this box has 360 cards in it. I mean, counting those token slots. I mean, it's a lot of cards. It's a big set. And I think when you look at that and you look at the collation, you're getting a lot of nice variants in a box. So this is a box that when you rip it, you're getting a lot to be able to play with. And again, because right now you don't need all the big, we don't have a lot of big, totally game swinging mythics that you have to worry about right now. The boxes are very playable, and again, I love the idea of the mythics, their story evolving over time. I'm a big fan of that. It was something that, in talking to Tinsman about how we make sure that the gameplay is what we need it to be, and then we have cards. We have some cards that are going to test DBS. I mean, this sucker right here, this one's going to test DBS. Did you hear Capricorn debating? He didn't think that the Phoenix Quill was the strongest card in the set, and Tinsman's like, no, it's the strongest card. I mean, we all agree, right? Phoenix Quill is the strongest card. Yes, I'm getting universal yeses from the peanut gallery here in the office. So, like, it is our opinion as a company and as the game team that Phoenix Quill is the most powerful card, and it's one that we think is gonna show what DBS is capable of, because we're gonna have to see how it impacts decks. And Brian also made a really good point in that interview. There's our OCM. I almost blew right by it. So we got Celestium Heights. We have a Boundless. That's a beautiful card. Beautiful card, and it turns the white silvery border for Boundless. It is a common, but this is a common with 99 serialization. This card in my hand is not common. It's common for gameplay. This is an easy card to get. You could put this in your deck in paper, and I'm sure it will cost you near nothing. There'll probably be dig boxes in game stores. You probably get it for free. But this card, there's only 99 of them. And so I really believe that out of 99 is a great number. I don't know why I got that camera right there. I'm just looking at this one. Let me look up for a second. I really believe that that 99 is a great serialization number. I truly believe that. And we see it in a lot of sports cards, a lot of the most iconic cards, the NTs being the biggest if you're a sports card person, NT RPAs, they're out of 99. And then they do them in 25s and 10s. It's the 99s that everybody wants. Like, I really believe that where the tokens and the OCMs are is great. Now, the mythics, those are out of 10. So those are incredibly scarce. But I think that these out of 99 OCMs, they're a great lane for collectors. It's not an impossible thing to collect. Mini sets, lands from one place you like, characters, wonders from one place you like all of that is doable. And with the 99 and even doing the full common set of OCMs, I think is a doable task for really competitive and serious collectors. And I think that the OCMs, really excited to see how the community reacts to them. And you don't need them for play. Like if it's, you don't have to have any of those for gameplay. And if gameplay is your thing, you're a competitive player, you want to come onto our competitive scene and try to compete, and you hit those big OCMs, by all means, sell them to a guy like me that wants to collect them and go buy 4 or 5 playable paper cards to juice your deck up. Like we want to have a lane for everybody. This is a really cool card, Serpent's Embrace, beautiful, beautiful piece of art there from Petraea. Really sick in Formless Foil. First edition Formless Foil, that's a beautiful card. And a rare, and 2 commons. All right, so we got our OCM. We got a common OCM out of this box. We're at 5 mythics. We have 4 packs left. Is it 4 or 5? 5 packs left. We have 5 packs left. Let's see if we can maybe knock back 1 more mythic. Can we get it to 6? Let's see if we can get it to 6 on the mythic count. This video is longer than I told Tony it would be. Tony, I told you 20 minutes, man. I told you I was going to move fast. And
We're at 42.
Yeah, I kind of missed. Oh, the Crimson Marauder. I love it. I want this in OCMs. I love Izzy, the captain of the Crimson Marauder. We have 2 pirate ships in the existent set. We have the Crimson Marauder, which is a rare, and then we have the Sky Wraith, which we haven't seen yet. The Sky Wraith is another ship. It's an epic, and I love the pirate ships. I don't know. I'm a big, I love the beach. I love Jimmy Buffett, Pirate Looks at 40. I love Pirates of the Caribbean, one of my favorite all-time movies, one of my favorite all-time rides at Disney, even though it's not even really all that exciting of a ride. I just love going on it. Always have a good memory getting off of it, and I just love pirate stuff. And so I definitely want to collect the pirate ships in their best cards. So those are actually stone foils that I would be going after, and also for sure OCMs. And so very interested in collecting the pirate ships. Come on, baby, I want 1 more mythic. Wrap this sucker up. Man, there's a lot of cards here. Like, this is a rip that if you sit and you're new to the product, you go through your box. I mean, you could sit and enjoy ripping this for a couple of hours, honestly. Like, you could easily spend a couple of hours in 1 box of this product. The set is just so incredibly deep. That's sick. That is sick. But it's just, there's so much here to see. Oh, there's a mythic. Bang, got one. And I have no idea if this is good in the game or not, but I love this freaking card. It's the Utterly Complex Compound Bow. Is it a great card? I love this card. I love the Utterly Complex Compound Bow. Just look at that thing. Like, what the heck are you going to do with that? How are you going to carry that around? You got to be some type of something like cyborg to even strap that thing on and carry it around. So that brings us to 6 mythics. Glacium Keep coming in behind it as a common there. That's another cool card, that Icy Keep sitting up on the side of that mountain. Now let's get greedy. Let's get greedy. We got 2 left. How about a mythic in the Formless Foil slot? Let's get super greedy. Let's get super greedy here. Here we go. Super greedy. And we did not, but we did get an uncommon. We did pull an uncommon out of the slot there. We got the Sirocco Blast. Sirocco Blast. Sirocco Blast. That's a cool card. Cool heliosynth card there. All right, so Unless, it still could be. I mean, you don't know how the packs get put in here. They were layered. It could be another formless foil. I haven't counted how many we hit. They've averaged 1 in 3 packs on the formless foils. May have another chance at another one, but hey, if not, let's see if we can pull one more mythic out of here. How about that? Won't even be greedy anymore. Common, and token. Didn't get one. All right, mythic. Nope. Nope, we got another dimensional piercer. Eric, what's wrong with your collation, man? I got 2 dimensional piercers out of 360 cards. 2 cinder maws out of 360 cards. I think that's pretty good collation. We got one, I think, one patch squibbler is a common. One. It's all one. We got 1 dream cap. 1. So, like, and I don't remember any commons that I could think of where I was like, oh, I've seen that 5 times. 360 cards, 400 card set. I'm really proud of the work that the team did on collation. All I helped with was the recipe, but the execution of that goes to the team. And I think that that's one of the things that I'm super proud of is the collation of the set. And I hope you all enjoy it. I hope you all enjoy the fact that there is going to be variance to this, but it's going to be, you know, when it comes to your mythics and epics and what you get, I really hope you all enjoy it. So I'm going to go back through these cards now and spend a little bit of time with them and look through what I got and kind of compare it back to the report card that I did earlier. I guess publishing this may actually publish before the report card, depending on how we push it out. But yeah, so anyway, first box, it's in the books, and that sets us up now. We can rip for sealed and do some other things at the shattering, and the seal is broken.
Hey, Stone Seekers. We got Mr. Wicked here, and I'm Joe. We're here for clean up Jeff's mess. And this is our second attempt at this. We had another video earlier, but didn't go so great. So we're redoing a couple of things. One of the things that Jeff missed was we had a silver pack, and I'm going to open up again to kind of show you all what it is, just to get better footage of it. But so we open this up. It has a cardboard backing in it to protect the card. And then what was in here that Jeff forgot to show everybody was a red stooling hunter. And this is a silver pack alt art. B-Jamps is probably going to want to get that. So the other thing that we did was we gathered together what we're going to do for the giveaways. So some of these cards we're going to give away at the shattering. I'm not going to go over those. Those are all piled up. But I am going to go over is what you can get if you like and comment. And we can get a hold of you if you do that. So what one person will get is the OCM. So they got that card right there. And is the Celestium Heights number 78. One person will get the Phoenix Quill box topper. One person will get the Silver Art Red Stooling Hunter combined with the foil Rust Trooper and the foil Gem Primordial. So one person will get 3 cards. One person gets a quill, one person gets the OCM. And one of the things that we went through here and talked about is what kind of cards, if this was like your sealed box that you opened in your building deck, what were the cards that kind of stood out to be good cards to make a deck? And we're going to kind of go over a few that kind of caught his eye going through here.
Yep. So Jeff pulled a bunch of epics, and one thing I noticed going through them is he got a sick Eye of Petria. So that's something you want to look forward to when you're opening your packs, because that mythic just gets stronger the more lands you have. And then my personal favorite card he got was this foil Ethereal Grove. Everyone knows it's the only land with symbiosis, but another caveat is it's technically a dual color land, and that's going to help you out immensely in a sealed event or a draft. And then everyone's favorite, we got Cindermaw. If you get this in your sealed, you're probably going to do pretty well. What were your favorite cards, Joe?
Definitely probably the Cindermaw. I think the Cindermaw is the card that if I pull that card, I feel like I've got a really good chance to win in any game. You can play it almost any round a stone's getting taken by your opponent. So especially in sealed, the chances of you getting to use this card and turn the game around are really, really good. Or if you're winning the game, to keep winning the game. It's just a really, really, really good card, really, really useful. Another couple of cards, and there's like the compound bow. This card right here has got a lot of utility because you can put it on the equipment in this game. You can equip it to any wonder, so it doesn't have to be like a Helios wonder that you equip it to or anything. So, and in sealed, there's no core requirement, so you can still play this card with any land.
Yep.
So those are the ones that really stood out to me. There's definitely a lot of variability in here. I think you could also play this first form. That's going to be really good in sealed as well. It's a little bit higher cost, but you should get enough energy to play it by the end of the game. And when you do, it probably is enough power to swing the game back to your favor. Those are probably the ones I think that stood out to me. I don't think that any 6-packs you got out of here would you have trouble making a deck though? There's enough variety in here. I was really happy to see that this is the first time a box has been opened. So seeing the collation, the variety was really good. And some people might think like, oh, that's crazy you had dupes. Well, if you didn't have some dupes, then it would not actually truly be random.
It would not.
But also, like if there was a ton of dupes, then maybe you don't really have random either. So to have just a couple of dupes show up that are epic, like that's kind of expected in a true random. Yeah. So I think that the collation's perfect. So,
And I think Jeff got the 2 Cinder Malls in the first 2 packs, and so since in sealed, we don't have the legendary restriction, so he could have slammed 2 Cinder Malls.
Yeah,
in the event.
that would have been a crazy
been
deck
crazy.
to see.
Yeah,
And I think we're going to see some stuff like that happen this weekend, and I'm super excited to see it. So we're going to get back to clean this mess up that Jeff left for us. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah. And everybody like and subscribe and put those comments down there so we can get these prizes sent out. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.